It's your girl, Lady Mocha. And you know I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off with a slice of knowledge. Hey, what's up, everyone? It is your girl, your diva and knowledge lady, Mocha, here at Mocha's Cafe de Paris. What's good? I know y'all are shocked to finally see my face. It's been a couple of weeks, I would say, since I've actually did a video without an avatar. So for all of you who have been tuning in the last couple of weeks, yes, I've been uploading a lot of videos with just my avatar. I've been hella busy. I've been too busy trying to upgrade my craft with my channel. So as you can see, I have changed my background a little bit. I'm trying to make it a little bit more comfortable and cozy for all of my customers and all of my subscribers who are coming in to dine out with me and hang out with your girl here at Mocha's Cafe Lounge, where you know I'm always serving you the best topics in wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness and life lessons. So as you can see, I upgraded just a little bit. You never know what to expect when it comes to my channel. One day things could look this way for a certain amount of weeks, and then next thing you notice, you logging on to one of my new videos and I done flipped the script. I'm like the RS, honey. You never know when I'm coming and how I'm going to come at you, okay? So on that note, you can see, I had to make some changes, and I'm feeling really good about it. And other than that, only thing that's not going to change is me serving you the best topics in wisdom and knowledge and spiritual awareness and life lessons, as I stated before. So that for me, you're going to always get. I'm not going to change or switch up the game on that. So rest assured that will always be the same. But every once in a while, you know, I'm going to switch things up and everything. But I want to thank all of my day ones who've been rocking with me from the beginning when I started my channel. I want to thank all of y'all who are just jumping on board and just getting to learn me and learning my channel. I want to thank you as well. And I want to welcome all of my first timers that are just coming in today at Mocha's Cafe de Paris Lounge. You know, here we kick back, we chill, we have good conversation, we have good drinks, we just have a wonderful time, you know, and it's all about just keeping it real, but having fun and being able to kick it out of a place where you can let your guard down and share your opinions without being ridiculed, you know, without being disrespected or feeling like, you know, what you say doesn't matter, doesn't count here. No, here we do grown folks topics, okay? And we're going to treat each other as such when it comes to this channel, all right? So again, I want to thank all of you for rocking out with me and deciding to dine on in and come on in and rock out with your girl here at Mocha's Cafe de Paris Lounge, where I'm always serving you the best topics and wisdom and knowledge and spiritual awareness. So thank you, and I hope y'all like the new look that I got going, okay? But let's put all of that aside and go right on in on today's menu. Well, on today's menu, the new recipe today is called Infidelity in Hollywood. Okay, not Hollywood, Hollywood. Because let's face it, you got some folks in Hollywood, even with all their money, even with all their success, they're still hood as hell. Okay, you can take some people out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of some people. Let's just keep it 100. Okay, you can be rich and successful and be ratchet and hood as hell. Okay, money don't change, don't always change things, and especially don't change a person's character. Okay, so on today's menu, if y'all haven't already heard already, because I know some people, y'all don't have time to keep up with all the foolishness and craziness and all of the drama that's going on with these celebrity marriages, and I don't keep up with too much of it, but every once in a while I get somebody who will email me and want me to comment on something, or I'll just see something on the news or something I see in the media that I feel the need to definitely commentate on. And this is one of those topics that I felt was very necessary to bring to all of y'all attention if y'all don't know by now. Well, your boy, rapper, Atlanta rapper, T.I., better known as Tip, the rubber band man himself, is right back in the news, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And if you don't already know that him and Tiny and have already kind of been having some issues lately, their marriage kind of been on the rocks. But at some point in time, I thought they had recovered and they was actually in a better place with one another. But come to find out, looks are deceiving because your boy T.I. is right back to his right back to his ways again. He's right back in the news, going viral, and basically I'm going to go ahead and present you guys with the clip so y'all can see for yourselves. And like I said, it may not be a big deal because, you know, nothing physical went down as far as the hell we know. But it's just the point of the matter that this is a man that carries himself. He's supposed to be a very intellectual guy. He's a very wise guy. And I still can't take that from him. He's a very talented guy. But however, T.I. still has a problem with keeping his hands off of things that really don't belong to him, okay? But you know what? I'm going to commentate on that after I'm done rolling this clip for you guys and you ladies. And we're going to finish and we're going to go back into this. We're going to analyze this situation, honey, because it's not looking good. Now, where in the hell is the waiter with my drink? I don't know why my drink is not here yet. What the hell is going on with my drink? Anyway, we'll go ahead and roll the footage, and I'll be right back to share with you my commentary. Interesting footage, wasn't it? I'm sorry, I had to sip on this one because this is going to be an interesting recipe today. As I stated, I don't go by what a person says. I go by what a person does. And as you can see, this isn't something that was made up in the tabloids. As you can see, they actually have footage of Mr. Rubber Band Man kicking it backstage with some groupie that was way a little too comfortable with him for him to be a married man. Now, had he been a single man, didn't have a wife, didn't have a main chick or whatever, then it wouldn't be a big deal, and I'm sure nobody could care less. But being that he's been riding with the same chick for years, and he's married to this woman, he has a family, and they just had a baby. That's I guess just turned 1 or whatever, and that's what's making the situation look really bad for him because it's already been a lot of negative publicity surrounding their marriage. And that is one of the hardest things with being a couple in Hollywood. Just being a couple on the average level already has challenges. Trust me, I know, I get it. I've been married 18 years, and marriage itself is already difficult. It already has challenges. It already has obstacles that it has to overcome. And it adds more weight when you have to deal with the whole world looking in and watching every goddamn move you make, okay? If they slip and see you coming out the bathroom with some chick that so happened coming out the other bathroom and y'all coming out together, paparazzi get a hold of it. They're going to try to link you and this chick that you don't even know just because y'all both came out the bathroom at the same time. They're going to swear y'all was in the bathroom getting it on. You know, we hear about it all the time. Kim Kardashian went through it with Um, the dude Thompson, whatever the hell the basketball player name was, and they caught him coming out the hotel room or whatever. But like I said, when you are a man or you are a woman and you are a celebrity and then you are married, the chances of you getting caught is so high till it's ridiculous. And that's why it's very imperative that you are careful how you conduct yourself. Now, the reason why I'm speaking on the situation with T.I. is because, for one, I know this man is very wise. He's highly intelligent. He's not dumb. He's not slow from a long shot. I've heard him in his interviews. I heard how he conduct himself very professionally. He's like a new school Farrakhan to me, in a sense. The man is very intellectual, which makes me disappointed for the simple fact that he knew what chance he's taking whenever he's with a groupie and he's handling himself like a man that's not married. So if he was a guy that was ignorant and didn't know how to conduct himself, then my thing would be okay, but that's just his character. This is expected from him. It's not like he's another offset rapper or something like that. This is a man that has a lot of common sense, a lot of intelligence. So my thing is, he knew exactly what he was doing. He just didn't give a damn. Okay, he basically allowed his ego to get in the way of his common sense, and that's basically what happened in this clip. Now, going back to this clip, what disturbed me about this situation is that, for one, they're backstage. So basically, he felt like he had the room to do it. So he knew what he was doing. Because my thing is, if you was so not caring what you was doing, you would have did it in public for everybody to see. But my thing is, for you to do it behind closed doors because you know it was wrong. You wouldn't have did it in public. So basically, he thought he had the advantage of being that hardly nobody was around but his main homeboys. And we know how that is. Dudes got this guy code just like women got a girl code, you know. Hell, what goes on the tour bus stays on the tour bus. What goes on in the damn backstage stays backstage. What goes on in the back of the limo stays in the limo. You know, that's just how it is when you roll it with your homeboys, you roll it with your entourage. But there's always that one shady person waiting to catch you slipping so they can use that to their advantage. And I'm sure whoever was recording this had to be a homeboy of his. If it wasn't a homeboy, it was probably somebody that was working for him, maybe a bodyguard. Somebody was basically they underhanded him in a sense, because from my understanding, what goes on behind closed doors, especially when it comes to these men affiliating with these groupies, y'all supposed to keep it amongst each other. So it's very rarely that another man will throw another man under the bus. But then again, God has his own timing for how he exposes people who will live on file. So then you got to deal with that too, okay? But as you can see, he's backstage. So 9 times out of 10, he's with his homeboys, okay? Here it is. This groupie casually walks over to him, you know, and as soon as she proceeds to sit down, he smacks her on her behind. Okay. And that already was a major violation, because again, he's married. Now, had he just been, you know, a regular guy, you know, that didn't have a wife, wasn't well known, wasn't this big time artist, nobody could care less. And especially with his marriage already having so much negative publicity, he already had a lot of drama with the other groupie named Bernice that he was messing with. You know, him and Tiny recovered from that, but now here it is. It's another fee. It's another groupie now, so it's not even the same one. So I don't know what's worse. I don't know if messing with the same groupie too many times is bad, or getting too many different groupies is bad. I don't know. The pain is all the same to me. The embarrassment is all the same to me. Okay. So basically, she approaches him. He smacks on her butt. As you can clearly see, it is him. It is not no stunt man of his. It's not no decoy of his. This is T.I. in the flesh. Okay. Cause so nobody don't even need to come with that. Cause I don't see people talking about, oh, that ain't him and that's Tiny. No, that's not Tiny. That's another knockoff version of Tiny. That's a groupie version of Tiny. And some men who happen to be cheaters, sometimes they go for the same particular type. He may just have a thing for high yellow women with blonde, curly, springy hair. That just may be his thing. You know, I just noticed that. Most of the women he chooses are fair complexioned women, and they're tiny, framed coincidentally, and they pretty much have big butts, and I guess that's why his wife was getting those butt injections and stuff, trying to uh become his fantasy, trying to live up to what she felt like her husband wanted. And when you have a man that's always keeping his eyes all over, it don't matter how all the surgery you get done in your body, it don't matter how much you alter the changes to your body and all of that. It doesn't matter if he's a man who loves a variety of women. You're never going to be enough for him. And same thing, guys, if you're dealing with a woman that's very promiscuous and she just loves to be with all kind of men, it don't matter how much you work out in the gym, it don't matter how much you buy new clothes and you try to become this man that you think she finds appealing, it'll never be enough. Basically what I'm saying, if you're dealing with a man or a woman that has whorish tendencies, it's never going to be enough to please them. Okay, so basically after the butt smack, she plops down beside him, cuddles underneath him, goes into his personal space. She's right underneath his arms. He had his arm around her, embracing her in a sense, welcoming her way more than he should be welcoming a woman that isn't his wife. So as you can see, they're very comfortable. She takes her hands, she's rubbing up and down on his leg, and looks like he kind of reached over in front of her. I can't tell, but basically it was just a little too much for somebody to be married. And again, I don't think nobody would make a big deal out of it if he wasn't married and if he wasn't a rapper. I think anybody would care less. And then, like I said, it's the point of the matter that they already have so much negative publicity surrounding their marriage, okay? And they were supposed to be working on things coming together. And lately, I've also been hearing that, he's been throwing a lot of shade in the news, about marriage and everything. I'm gonna see if I can pull that up while I'm talking to y'all. But like I said, it just seems like there's a lot of things that are going on surrounding them, and it's not a good positive reflection of their as I stated, apparently they're not on the same page. There's trouble in paradise. Um, I would feel some type of way, like I said, if my husband posted on his account why some men don't marry, because he's a married man. And I'm sure as a husband, you would feel some type of way if you saw your wife posted on her Instagram why women don't marry or why women should marry. It's gonna make you feel some type of way like, well, damn, why the hell are you married to me? It's basic common sense. So basically this is not looking good. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I was really rooting for them. I was hoping that what they was going through was just a phase, that it was just something that their marriage had to go through in order for them to grow, in order for them to mature. Because let's face it, marriage is not easy. It's things I've gone through. I've had my share of ups and downs, and we've had our challenges, but had we not been able to recover, we wouldn't have been together. So apparently, regardless of how much me and my husband has gone through, we've just kept, fighting for it and kept putting in as much work as we needed to put in to keep the momentum going. But not every marriage could, succumb, the challenges that it faces. But just to go further into the situation is that sometimes in marriage, that's why I said marriage is for grown folks. Marriage is not for children. Let me start off by saying that. Marriage is not for children. Marriage is for grown folks. If you're the kind of person, the only way you can deal with your issues is by being manipulative, playing mind games. You have to retaliate, do tit for tat to prove a point, versus sitting down and communicating and settling your differences like a grown man and a grown woman, then unfortunately, you don't need to be in a marriage, because marriage is a full-time job. And you have a lot of people that get married for the wrong reasons, and unfortunately it comes back to haunt them. Now, what I did want to state in his post that he posted and he shared from this other from this PhD, whoever she is, when she says men know there's a good chance they'll lose friends, their respect, their space, their sex life, their money. Now keep in mind, what I don't like about this statement is it's sexist, because believe it or not, women lose too. there are no winners in a marriage. Rather, people, it don't matter who end up with the house, who end up with the dogs, who end up with the children. There are no winners in a divorce. Okay, the bottom line is divorce is the tearing of a marriage. It's the bleeding of a union. Okay, that was once joined and connected together. Marriage to me is like another form of death because you are actually losing this person. You're losing this individual. Okay, this person is no longer going to have any ties to your life. And the bad part about it is, even if y'all do divorce, it's going to always be that connection there. It don't matter if you remarry. It don't matter if she remarries or if she has kids from somebody else. He has kids from somebody else. It's going to always be that tie because marriage, what a lot of people don't understand is marriage is a connection. It's an anointing. And just because you're no longer with that person or y'all went y'all separate ways, that's still that soul tie that's still there and it's going to be there permanently. Now, this isn't to say that people are divorced still have feelings for their ex or still want to be with their ex, but there's a connection. You know, you was intimate with this person. You may have had children with this person, and even if you didn't have children, there was still a connection there. You invested feelings, you invested time. There's a lot of investment in when it comes to marriage. Okay, so I want to commentate on that because I disagree with that, because from what the author is saying, she's just making it seem like only the man is losing everything. That's not true, because I've seen cases where men end up with everything, and some women had to go back from scratch, go back and stay with their mom, or go back and stay with their sister, because he had a certain amount of money saved up, and throughout the marriage, he never, gave her any access to how much money he makes and all of that. So basically, I just don't like when somebody tries to be one-sided and says, well, men are the ones always losing in marriage, or women are the one always losing. Everybody loses something, okay? Because as she stated, there's a good chance they'll lose friends, their respect, and their space. Well, what the hell do you think women lose? I know many women who have lost friends in the process of getting married. They single friends may start hating on them, or may start getting jealous of them, or feel like, oh girl, you done changed ever since you done married Bobby. You too good to hang out with us. So women have lost friends too. She said respect. Yes, women have lost respect too, especially if she married a guy that everybody felt like she was too good to be with in the first place, or everybody felt like the guy was not the best of choice she made. So women lose too. Women have lost respect by not marrying somebody that their mama approved of, their daddy approved of. They went on their heart. They went on what they wanted. I don't care what my family say. I don't care what my friends say. I don't care what mama, daddy say. I'm gonna marry Bobby because that's who I love and that's who I want to be with. And nobody likes Bobby because Bobby always been in and out of jail, or Bobby don't like to keep a job, or they seen Bobby disappoint her just during their dating phase. And to see that now she wants to turn around and marry Bobby. Okay, yeah, she done lost respect. Nobody deals with her. Mama don't come around to her house to see her and the grandchildren. Daddy don't want no parts of her because he don't like her husband. He don't want no dealings with his new son-in-law or whatever. So women lose their respect too. Everybody has that one female they know nobody really deals with her based on the type of person she married that they felt like wasn't good for her. Okay, then she says their space. Hell, women lose their goddamn space. Women, you can't come and go as you want, when you're married. When some women get married, some women have husbands that are so possessive to the point they can't have a life. They can't go to the gym by themselves. They can't go out and have drinks with their friends and, still be married and still have their own life respectfully. I understand there's things you can't do, of course, once you're married, but women lose their space too. And not only that, women lose their space even more so because they have children. Who are the ones who have the children? Women have the children the majority of the time. It is the man that gets to still move on with his life, still be married, go hang out with his homeboys, still go to the strip club, still go to the pool halls to live their life, because they don't have to go through finding babysitters unless he's a single father and his wife died or something like that, or he has custody or something like that. But for the most part, the women, we hold the majority of the responsibilities. So we're the ones who never, we lose more space than anything. I know when I had my daughter, and it was just only one child I had, my husband still had the room to come and go as he wanted. You know, he paid the bills, don't get me wrong. Lights was on, water was on, gas was on. He didn't leave home, making sure without us being straight now. But at the same token, he still had his life. I didn't have mine because I had a newborn, you know, who I had to take care of. I had a baby who I was potty training and everything. So this is a sexist ass statement. You know what I mean? I don't like when people are one-sided talk about what women got to go through or what the man got to go through. Hell, everybody got to go through something. That's the way marriage is designed. Nobody gets over. Everybody is getting pimped one way or another, whether if you're the man or the woman. Now she says, um their sex life is another thing that the man will lose. Now, in some cases, this is true. I can't really argue this point. I've heard several men say, you know, once we got married, I mean, when we were dating, we was, you know, banging that out, you know, 2, 3 times a week. Seems like once we got married, now I got to beg for it. I got to pull magic tricks out the hat to get the cookie, you know, or when she gets mad with me, you know, she won't give me the cookie. She'll punish me for like 3, 4 weeks because of it, you know. So I'm not a man, but I know this is true because I've heard several men say it, you know, and I know women, we do have the tendency to abuse our power with the cookie. But at the same time, it's not in many cases, but in some cases, some men, you know, especially if they start going out there, you know, affiliating and dealing with let me turn this ringtone down. When they start going out there and you know, messing around with somebody else, the less and less and less, you know, interest they have in wanting to be intimate with their wives. So, you know, it happened both ways, but I know the differences are different. You know, when women hold back, it's because women sometimes we let our emotions, sometimes our emotions is connected to our vajayjay. So depending on what we feeling emotionally, it's hard for us to just, you know, climb in bed with you and just be intimate if emotionally we're not where we need to be because we're too busy letting our emotions get in the way. You know, we can't be intimate the right way, upset and angry and in our feelings. You know, that's just, it doesn't make us bad. It just means we're different from y'all. Men, y'all are not emotional like us. So y'all don't care what's going on. Y'all feel like, hey, we should still be able to get in the bed and be intimate. I don't care what problems we got going on now. I mean, what that got to do, what you giving yourself to me got to do with what we got going on. I mean, we're going to have problems regardless. How many times you going to hold back out or hold out on me every time we have a problem? And, you know, it's again, that's why communication is very important. That if a man voices this, and in some cases men have voiced it, and their wife will blow it off like it's no big deal or whatever. And then next thing you notice, infidelity happens. So, again, it takes a lot of communication. Takes a lot of maturity, you know, because running outside your marriage and bringing somebody else in is not going to solve your problems. Even if you just got that person in to fill that one need you're not getting, you may be dealing with this person not because you love them, not because you want to hurt your wife or hurt your husband, but you just want to fill that certain need that you're not getting. And what you're not understanding is what you're doing is you're creating a whole nother issue that you're going to get stuck with, and you're going to regret it because these days you cannot bring other people into your life, and people don't bring all kind of drama and all kind of chaos with them. So you have to be very careful. But I didn't like that statement because, like I said, women lose their friends, their respect, their space, and in some cases their sex life and their money. Now, keep in mind, the reason why I say I don't like the statement, because in some cases there's some women who make more money than the men. And there's been some cases where women have had to pay spousal support, or women have had to pay child support. So you can't really look at it like it's a man thing, a woman thing. It's all about a financial thing. Whoever makes the most money, whoever's the primary breadwinner. Now I get it. Majority of the time, most of the men are the primary breadwinners. They are the ones who got. Okay. We know when it comes to that alimony and that child support, it could be a beast. Most of the time, the men are the ones who get the worst end of it. Okay. But this is the whole thing about this post that I don't like. With this woman says, they don't want to enter, meaning that men, they don't want to enter into a legal contract with someone who could effectively take half their savings, pension, and property when the honeymoon period is over. First of all, she says when the honeymoon period, is over. My thing is, I'm not. This statement to me is just not fair. Because she's giving everybody the wrong perception, because the point of the matter is that, again, when it comes to a divorce, everybody loses, nobody gets by. It doesn't matter who ends up with the house, it doesn't matter who ends up with the children. None of that really matters, because either way it goes, somebody's losing. And the thing about it is, you're losing a marriage, because women, even in some cases, even the strongest woman may not even want to admit it, but women do not like to lose. Women hate failure, especially when it comes to a marriage. If you come from a family where your parents have been together for years and you're used to having a solid family, that is really what you want. The money really is just an asset, it's just a necessity. It doesn't make up for the fact that you lost your husband, the fact that your family is divided. Your children do not have their father in the same household. And believe it or not, some women strongly still desire that more than anything. Now, money, it does help. It's a big help. It's better. It's advantages to dealing with a man with money versus a man without money, because if things don't work, at least you don't have to worry about how you and your kids going to maintain, how you going to pay the bills. But believe it or not, women who are used to getting money all the time, especially these women in Hollywood who are married to these athletes and who are married to these rappers, it don't mean that much to them compared to an average broad who's from the hood. Now, a hood broad or somebody who's not used to nothing, they'll make it a big deal. Like, okay, so what if I'm not with him or we're not together? At least he got to take care of me. At least he got to take care of the kids. At least he got to financially provide for me. It does not mean anything if you've always had that. At the end of the day, what you really want is your family. You really want, your marriage to work, because people who have always had materialistically, they realize money is not all it was cracked up to be. It's only folks who are used to being on the bottom scale who think money is everything. Well, so what if they not married? So what if he leaves? At least Tiny have all this money. At least he got to take care of her and all the kids they got together. Do you think that means anything to her? Because you got to realize this woman has had money half all her life. She's been in the music industry way before he has. So she's used to the cars, she's used to the houses. And even with all of that, if that was the case, she could have left him a long time ago, because she always had money. But evidently she stayed because she loved him and she wanted to really be with him. She could have easily walked. She could have been on husband number 6, husband number 7. But evidently she wanted her marriage to work, and she's not the only one. You have a lot of women in the industry who could easily have walked away when things got tough because they got the money. I mean, Beyonce went through it with Jay-Z. He admitted to cheating on her and having numerous affairs on her, and she could have left. The woman, she got the money. She got the status. She don't need him. But as I stated, women who are used to money don't mean nothing to them. Even in a divorce, if they end up with $500,000, even if they end up with all the houses and the cars, it doesn't mean anything. So, again, I really disagree with the statement, but at the same time, it makes me question where T.I.'s heart really is with the situation. He said he's seen this a million times. Note to women, happiness needs no validation. Uh, I kind of understand what he's saying on that. When some women do get married to get validated to prove a point, they want to prove I got a husband, I's married now. So I kind of agree with him to a certain degree, but at the same time, not always. Some women want to be married because they really want a family. They really want a legacy. They want to have something fulfilling. Everybody's not with the going from man to man and just having baby daddy, number 3, number 4, number 5. You got some women out there who really want a family, who really want a husband. So again, these statements they're making is too broad, is too specific. You can't, it's too biased to me. It's just a biased statement. He said happiness needs no validation, the ego does. Most women out there nowadays just want to be married to impress their friends, family, his side pieces, and fit into society's standards. That's not love. That's how you end up stuck with someone you thought you wanted. Like I said, everybody, and it's not just women. It's not just women. You have some men that don't always get married for the right reasons. You got some men who get married because just so happen they really attracted to the woman. They in some cases they know the woman got a pass of being a hoe and figure they can make her turn into a housewife. In other words, man and women don't always marry for the most genuine reasons, and this is why we have the problems that we have, because everybody does not have genuine intentions when they get married. Some people get married trying to escape poverty because they don't want to stay with their parents no more. You got some women that marry for security because they don't want to work. They don't want to have to financially contribute, so they rather get a man who has all the money to where they could stay home and be a housewife and just shop and just live it up while he's the one out there breaking his back. You got some men, they're married to women because they want somebody who they can kind of have as a slave to wash their clothes, to iron their drawers. Everybody got their reasons. Everybody's not genuine, and that's man and women. And what happens is over time it will reflect. No matter how much you try to be fake and act like you really love that person in the beginning, sooner or later it's going to come to the surface, because things are going to come up, things are going to happen, and it's going to show you what type of person you really had in your corner all along. For instance, going on now in the news as well, if y'all don't know this rapper by the name of Corrupt, he's basically a rapper from the West Coast. He's actually rapped with Snoop Dogg and a couple of other rappers, Nate Dogg. He's a West Coast rapper. He's come up with a couple of songs. I can't really think of any right now or whatever, but he's very popular within the West Coast. He was once like I said, I know he was down with the Dog Pound with Snoop Dogg or whatever. He was once going with a young lady by the name of Natina Reed. Natina Reed was actually a member of the group called Black. They were the ones who did the song "Baby Bring It All to Me" and "Boom Like an 808." They had a couple of popular hits. I'll say in the middle, maybe 2003, 2004. I don't know. Probably was much earlier than that. Probably I think like 99, 2000. But anyway, she was in a very popular group, and at the time her and Corrupt was dating. They separated, but they did have a child, and they was co-parenting, and they had a good relationship as far as that. Well, unfortunately, tragedy struck when she got killed and hit by a vehicle as she was crossing the highway. And of course, you could only imagine the devastation that it took on her group members, and the devastation that it took on Corrupt, being the father of of the son that the both of them had together. So it definitely changed his life drastically, with good reason, of course. He actually did a show on Unsongs when they interview rappers from back in the day, or groups like the Shy Lights or the 470s from way back in the day. He actually did an episode on Unsung. You should be able to find it on YouTube, where he goes into how the death of Natina Reed, his baby's mother, impacted him and affected him. And he really went through a lot behind that. But through it all, he was blessed where he was able to marry again in spite of all of that. I'm going to pull up the lady's name. He still was able to look up and marry. Her name is Javon Brown. Let me see. She also goes by another name too, because she was also in the industry. Her stage name is Gail Gotti. Okay, and her real name is Javon Brown. But basically, she kind of was there. She came into his life when all of those events, that tragic event transpired. She met him shortly thereafter. And, she understood, him still grieving over the loss of the mother of his child. And she understood that he still had a love for her, which is understandable. And she was just a down chick. She stood by him, and through the midst of it all, and they had a family together, and she stood by him and children he had from his previous relationship. Well, basically, That's going left because she had to um said she's in the news as well. Corrupt's wife Javon Brown says he left her when she was diagnosed with cancer. Last year, Javon Brown's estranged wife, the rapper Corrupt, goes by stage name Gail Gotti, filed for divorce. With the rate of celebrity divorces, this is obviously not the story. The story is that Brown claims her husband left her right after she was diagnosed with blood cancer. According to documents obtained by The Blast, Brown is asking that Corrupt pay spousal support. She claims that since she was diagnosed with cancer, Corrupt has refused to pay for medical bills and living expenses. She wrote, "Our separation definitely hurt, as I could not understand how after 17 years he abruptly left me in my time of need when I needed his support and love the most." Before Corrupt left our relationship, I was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Although I earned a salary prior to separation and he knew I needed the money, when I asked him to assist me with my treatment, he responded, "Go get a regular job." Wow. And I should get a boyfriend to help me pay for my treatments. Brown says that when she first met Corrupt, he didn't have a penny to his name and lived in the homes his mother rented. Brown says neither of them had a car and she was with him as they struggled for years to get on their feet. She also claims that she handled the behind the scenes business matters, including bringing in business opportunities. After being in a long-term relationship, Brown and Corrupt married in 2010. She filed for divorce last year. Brown stated that 16 years of marriage, her husband told her that he had a new life with the new woman and had to focus on providing for that family. She alleges that Corrupt suffers from substance abuse issues and have caused him to become verbally and mentally abusive. She is seeking $14,000 per month in spousal support, $40,000 in attorney fees, and 50% stake of ownership in the company she owns. Divorce proceedings are set for July. Wow. This just goes to show you anybody could sit up here and talk about how dedicated they are. Anybody could cite the vows for better or for worse, sickness and health. Like I said, when it boils down to it, you will really find out who is really for you, what kind of spouse you have, what kind of companion you have, who really has your back. You're going to find it out sooner or later, especially when your back is up against the wall. And basically, that's what happened in this case. I don't know if because he lost somebody he loved before, and now finding out that his wife of 17 years has terminal cancer. He punked out, he cowered in his way out because he can't deal with losing another spouse. Whatever the case is, he's dead wrong for that. And you know what? Karma can always come back. Karma's definitely going to come back because God could turn things around for this woman and fix it to where she can get healed, or fix it to where, he still going to have to end up having to pay for her medical bills and still have to support her even with this new woman. It is just so messed up, how people just take marriage for granted. People play with marriage, and this is why the prison institutions stay full of capacity, because too many people are playing mind games. You're playing with people's feelings. You're playing with people's emotions. You're playing with people's time. You're just playing with people. And again, that's why I say that marriage is for grown folks. If you are not ready to put in the work, if you are not ready to make the sacrifice, please do not waste your time. Or if you are in a marriage and you just tired of your wife, you tired of your husband, it's boring, it's bland, you feel like you've been in the same box for too long, you're ready to go out there and explore, you want to taste some new fruit, you want to go out there and test the waters a little bit. What you need to do is let that person go that you're with. Either way, it's going to hurt, but it's better that you cut them off or hurt them than to deceive them and make them believe you want something. And then here it is, somebody's recording a video of you backstage and you smacking on women butts and all this other stuff. Or, it's just so utterly ridiculous. I really cannot stand to see, especially married folks, take each other through so much chaos. It is just so unnecessary. It's so immature. It's childish. And only thing I can do at this point is I can just hope that T.I. and Tiny, somebody is wise enough to go ahead and end it before it gets any more embarrassing than what it already has. Somebody needs to be the bigger person and shut it down. And I believe Tiny may be woman enough to do that. She has filed before, or whatever the case is. Or maybe Everybody could be reading too deep into it. Maybe it's nothing like that. I'm not sure. But that's why I'm telling you guys this story and you ladies, because I want your opinion. Based on the clip that you saw, do you really think that everybody is blowing it out of proportion? T.I. just being a regular man, having a good old time, nothing deep to it? Or do y'all think the way he handled this matter was inappropriate, being that he's married? Do y'all think it's cool, it's acceptable for him to be smacking on groupies' butts knowing he's married? Do y'all think had the camera would have never caught him, it would have he would have kept doing it, or maybe he already been doing it and now this time he's getting caught? What do y'all feel about the situation with rapper Corrupt? The fact that he's leaving his wife because she says she's terminally ill and he doesn't want to pay no medical bills. Y'all, give me y'all input on this. I definitely want to hear y'all opinion because this has got my mind just boggling. This is just two crazy stories, honey. Stuff like this really discourages people from wanting to get married, but really, you cannot allow other people's negative experiences um to give you a negative idea, and don't base your decisions based on other negative examples around you. It ain't always the situation, it's usually how you handle the situation. You get what I'm saying? So, again, you cannot allow all these other negative experiences about marriages around you and all these divorces that are going on around you to give you this negative perception that marriage isn't good, it's better to be by yourself. Just because it's not working for other people, that don't mean it's not going to work for you. You know what I mean? So you are you are the author of your book. If marriage is what you make it, okay? You want to make it miserable, it's going to be miserable. You want to make your marriage pleasant, I didn't say perfect, I said pleasant, then it's up to you and that man and that woman to make the best of it, okay? So on that note, it's been awesome, everyone. I'm glad everybody was able to stop in and rock out with me, your girl, Lady Mocha, here at Cafe de Paris, Mocha's Cafe de Paris Lounge, where I'm always serving you the best topics and wisdom and knowledge. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my uploads, okay? And remember, you're welcome to email me if you have any questions, have any comments, anything. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So welcome to the new and improved Mocha's Cafe de Paris channel. And I'll be checking you guys out soon. And don't forget, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off with a slice of knowledge. Y'all have a wonderful day and take care. This is your girl Mocha signing off.